The campus of San Diego State here on ESPN Plus. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. The fourth full day of pool action. 3-0 Japan against 0-2 Denmark. Welcome everybody, I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Japan has continued to be a story on the lacrosse stage. They're 3-0 here, 15-2, 18-0, and 14-1 in their first three games. They'll get the day off tomorrow, and they are looking to close out pool play with a bang. Meanwhile, Denmark, heartbreaking loss on Thursday in their opener to Wales, 7-6, before bouncing back and maybe a little bit of a hangover against France the next night. Struggled early in that one, 13-4. They had yesterday off. They'll play Uganda tomorrow to close out pool play. Japan will have the day off tomorrow to prepare for the medal round. And Japan, in talking to their head coach, Udo Suzuki, quite simple. They want to continue what they've been doing in terms of having the 12-goal differential to max out everything there in terms of a tiebreaker against other teams that could be 4-0 through pool play, because goal differential is the very first tiebreaker after that. And once you get past 12, it doesn't matter if you win by 15 or not. That number remains at 12. And for Denmark, they're going to look to get everybody going in their roster today and to prepare for tomorrow's game against Uganda. And certainly for Denmark, showing a lot on Thursday against Wales, and talking to head coach Ronnie Mathiasen, they have to find a way to get their offense going today against a sensational Japan defense that has yielded just 3 goals so far. It's a hot afternoon from San Diego, playing on a turf field here. While we are ready to go, you walk around the campus here at San Diego State, and no matter who you're talking to, inevitably, if you're talking lacrosse, the conversation about this tournament will turn to Japan, and people asking, have you seen Japan play yet? Have you seen Japan play yet? And here is your opportunity here on the ESPN Plus app. Japan ranked 6th in the tournament coming in, 6th place finish in 2018, and most folks feel that it is a country that could have been the lacrosse country of the year for 2022, and they're looking to continue that in 2023 with all the success they've had, men's and women's in different events, U21, sixes, and so forth. In goal for Japan, it'll be Shogo Oshima that will make the start. He's out of the University of Tokyo. He is excellent at outside shots. He has been splitting time with the other goalie, Soya Tokumasu. And for Denmark, no doubt about it, it will be James Robertson. He's the lone keeper on this team's second World Championship. He is from Australia, but while in Australia, he met a girl that was an exchange student from Denmark in Australia, and he would follow her to Denmark, and they married, and he has remained in Denmark since, and he has been a pillar of the building of Denmark lacrosse, and had a great tournament as Denmark went 3-2 in the European qualifiers for the Danes to make their 4th championship appearance. Japan has been facing off at an incredible level under Keiji Victor Ishii. This time face-off is decided off the wing by the Dimiri Dai Soto. And Japan will get going to work offensively. Shinya Tateshi, their leading scorer, had 5 goals and an assist against Uganda. A 5-4 game against France in the opener. Tateshi, the leading scorer, with Kazuki Obana on the attack, along with Yuya Okumura. And in the first midfield, Uda Suzuki will run Hiroki Kanaya, along with Tomoko Umihara and Koki Goto. Japan in the red on red. And this shot, perhaps fighting that off a little bit, was Robertson. Denmark defensively, Jack Hertz from La Jolla, California, very close by here, where he attends and plays at the University of Wisconsin as a club player. He's on the low D with Nikolai Karup Rasmussen from the Copenhagen club, Brandon Gustafson, and Connor Jensen Murphy, the 4 Poles. Down low it comes. There's a layup inside. Kazuki Obana starts the scoring for Japan. Just a little bit of the slide, and that's all that it took after the sweep came from Hiroki Kanaya, who's got the assist on the Obana goal. Asking Udo Suzuki what has pleased him so far. It's been not deviating from the game plans that they've had. Face-off win cleanly by Keiji Ishii. And Ishii will give it up and turn on the brakes. Now taking the shot from the outside is Yuta Kato. Senior national team for Japan. Most of them also played in the World Games 6s last summer in Birmingham, Alabama, where they lost 17-12 very competitively to the United States in the semifinals, and then defeated England 19-18 in overtime for the bronze. Part of a super successful 2022. The women at the World Championships in Baltimore, they finished 5th with impressive wins after losing a quarterfinal to the U.S. over Haudenosaunee and Israel. On the dodge, and another finish, right-hand finish for Toru Moromatsu. And 2-0 Japan. So Moromatsu from the off wing is able to take it. And that's his 5th of the tournament. Japan will run 2 midfields pretty consistently and use their full roster no matter how competitive the game is. And Moromatsu able to finish. Most of this team is from the island of Tokyo, and in Japan they pick up the game much later than they do in other countries. And it's common to only pick it up when you start in college, where there is a nice college system flourishing there, as Dai Soto off the wing comes up with a face-off. Trying to get to his left hand, Okumura, and he turned it over. Ball on the ground, and Denmark trying to kick it free. And as the Danes pursue, we will get eventually a hold now on Japan, so Denmark will have a chance for a clear and their first possession. It's an interesting mix of Danes. And talking to Ryan Mathiasen, having a long conversation with James Robertson, who starts to clear here. They have 8 teenagers on the roster, several that just graduated high school, and then they kind of have the veteran class, the pioneers that started the sport in Denmark, including, you could say, the original Pied Piper and Simon Kofod, 44-year-old that's on the roster as the oldest active player here on any team at the World Championships. He's a defenseman for Denmark. The clear for Evan Szyberski. And he'll be on the first midfield for the Danes. Nikolai Lund, the quarterback on the attack, with Lucas Roscoe. And a flag is out, and a rare flag out against Japan, so a free shot for Denmark. Roscoe will give it up. Lou Lillelund on that first midfield. There's a shot low to high. That Szyberski misses. Now we'll check on the foul. Well, Japan prides themselves on not committing turnovers, and they strictly practice terrific one-on-one, man-to-man defense. I asked Udo Suzuki, did they ever practice zone? And he kind of chuckled and said, shook his head as if it was an absurd thought, but that's the kind of mentality that Japan has. For them to try to compete with the U.S. and Canada and the rest of the Pool A teams, he feels you have to get good at man-to-man. Getting a high pick up top at Lucas Peterson. Executes, and the man up. And Denmark is 1 for 1 shooting. It's 2-1. And well-designed pick here at the top. There was no contact needed by Evan Szyberski, but he clears out enough space. And then Peterson hits the shot. 4th of the tournament for Lucas Peterson. He's from Bainbridge, Washington, where he plays for Fairfield. There's a good mix of players with Danish-American ties on this Danish team. Dad is Danish, mom is an American. And Lucas now has moved to Denmark to pursue his master's at the Copenhagen Business School. Face-off win, Japan. This pass partially knocked down by Braden Gustafson before Japan will recover. No shot clock in the international game in case this is your first game you're watching. And back to the first midfield for Japan. It is Hiroki Kanaya. Umahara. Kanaya slowed up. Now shot from the wing, finished. Low-to-low shot, Koki Goto. Not much room there with the defender closing out, and Goto has his third goal. 3-1 Japan with a timeout on the field. There's a story. Give it up a goal. 3-1 in the first. Hiroki Kanaya on the last assist. On the goal by Koki Goto. Kanaya with a pair of assists, and it's 3-1 Japan. Denmark able to take advantage on a rare Japan penalty in this tournament and convert on the man up. And can Denmark be competitive and create some 50-50 situations here against Keiji Ishii and his wings? But so far, 5 face-offs we have had, none have been really competitive. Subaru Tokamasu will deal it back, and Japan will work through Kiyoshi Sano on the defense and start the clear. This is somewhat of an inexperienced Japan squad with only 3 players back from the 2018 squad. As here's Muramatsu. Look to set the brush pick, whipped upside for Junichi Suzuki. So Japan will go back to their second midfield. Suzuki, nice trail check, and Denmark all over the loose ball. And then a jarring hit on Tateshi. And then Tateshi is slow to get up, his helmet knocked down, and we have a flag out against Denmark. It'll be a 30-second push with possession against Lucas Peterson that heads off for the Danes. So Japan will go man up. But having said that, with only 3 players back with any experience, as Udo Suzuki describes it, certainly from one aspect, we have players, we may have more players playing the game longer now than they did in 2018. Ball whipped around there by Okumura. And the recovery by the lefty shooter Goto. Another flag is down against Denmark. Final seconds here in the initial 30-second. Then Kanaya shoots. And Robertson making the save. And now Japan will have back-to-back man-ups. And it's a 1-minute slash on Connor Jensen Murphy. Jensen Murphy out of Bridgewater, New Jersey. Played at Bridgewater Raritan High School, a great program in that state. There is a shot, little draw and dump. Hiroki Kanaya, he's got 3 points early with a timeout on the field. A timeout taken by Japan. Another shot from not a great angle, low to low. Just a simple return after relocating with Tateshi on the assist. 4-1 Japan taking the timeout. So Hiroki Kanaya, 5-1 against Uganda. Opening game 6-1 against France, part of this Japan unit. And when you dive into Japan lacrosse, and Udo Suzuki has talked about this over on the women's side, they've discussed it too, how they want to emphasize off-ball movement, everybody constantly moving, that you're never relaxing as an off-ball player. Everybody needs to be a threat. And Udo has been discussing this evolution for years, where they wanted to create their own personal style of Japan lacrosse if they were ever going to have a real chance to compete for gold medals at the Worlds. There's no clearing clock, there's no shot clock to slow the game down, minimize possessions, control tempo. And the other area that has greatly helped Japan is that they have a terrific stable of face-off guys. They may have had, outside of the U.S., outside of Jake Naso in the U.S. in last summer's U21s, Japan may have had the next best face-off guy that was there in Yusuke Takeda. And Takeda might not be in the top 5 in the country in terms of face-off depth. And it's the position that perhaps is the deepest in the entire country. Now Denmark will take a timeout. So this is before the face-off of Keiji Ishii. So we will keep it here with 4:57 left, first quarter, as Denmark will try to find a way to make something of it. There in the hat in the black polo is Ronnie Mathiasen. He was the assistant coach in 2018, and he played on the very first team that appeared in the World Championships at Denmark in 2006, alongside now Simon Kofod, who he is coaching. And how Ronnie found lacrosse was he was an exchange student for the academic year of 96-97 at Owings Mills High School in Maryland. And his host family was into lacrosse, and while attending Owings Mills, they noticed he was pretty fast. All the soccer guys at the school said, you know, you could help us in lacrosse. And then he returned back to Denmark and was just looking for a team, was starting to play wherever he could after catching the lacrosse bug, and spent a lot of time actually going to Germany. At that time, around the year 2000, was and still to this point probably the most advanced European nation. He was looking for a team and ran into actually some Danes that he just didn't know. Facebook was not around yet, or social media of any kind to look up lacrosse in Denmark. Still a word-of-mouth world. And he connected with everybody there, and he and Simon Kofod started the Copenhagen lacrosse program, and one of only 2 lacrosse clubs still in Denmark that they are looking to build and add to. Japan wins another clean face-off. So they have the advantage at 6-0. Man up continues. Room in time, Kanaya. Hiroki Kanaya is now picking corners he likes. 5-1 Japan. And Kanaya now with a hand in 4 of the 5 goals. And he's able to take that additional crow hop and decide where he's going to shoot. So Tateshi finishes in consecutive man-up goals, and Japan is off and running again. And off the face-off, clean win. This time, the second face-off man, Ikomihito Shimada. Handled by Kato. And the trail man, and that is just behind the trail midfielder there before it's picked up by Tateshi. Denmark has only had the ball once in this first quarter. A Little draw and dump, Suzuki. And Suzuki's able to work his way for a good look. Robertson coming out to the top of his crease. James Robertson made 7 saves in the opener against Wales, 6 more against France on Friday. Suzuki looks for a slot off the D meeting. Quick pass and a finish. What a rope that was thrown, and then the touch on the shot from Kazuki Obana. 6-1. Well, the pass was thrown harder than the shot, but the shot had terrific placement. Watch this. Obana with 2 in the opening quarter. And we'll get procedure called. So Shimada will give up the first face-off, and Japan has conceded via the violation. Lou Lillelund, as Peterson organizes, played pole during his time at Fairfield. Here he's playing with a short stick for the Danes. This is Nick Skeffington. He's from California before moving when he was young to Denmark. Flag is out again for the second time against Japan. And I think they're going to get a slash on Taiga Hirotsu. It'll be a hold called against Hirotsu. And Denmark very quickly, and there's the shot fought off. Skeffington, the shooter, with Oshima challenging. Final half minute, first quarter. Room in time, and that shot is blocked. Good closeout there by Kiyoshi Sano. Peterson. Lund, and there they get it down to the sweet spot. There's the lefty Nick Skeffington, California native. 6-2 late in the first. You'll see the very good little extra pass here. No force that was taken by Nikolai Lund for Skeffington to increase his angle. Skeffington moved to Denmark in 2018 to attend college at Aarhus University. Mom is Danish, dad an American, but he played high school lacrosse here in California. He's from Trabuco Canyon, California. Final seconds for Japan. Appears that's going to count. 7-2 Japan. Well, Denmark appeared like they had stopped playing. As the officials looked at one another, they're going to have to add time here to the end of the first quarter. And it will count. They'll have a face-off. And a goal for Okamura. So after the long lead pass, with time winding down, Okamura is able to hit the shot. No slide came for Denmark, thinking that perhaps it would not have mattered, but it did. Okamura closes out a super opening quarter for Japan. 7-2 Japan looking to go undefeated into the medal round on ESPN+. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. There is Naofumi Suzuki. He's also a college professor in Japan. This is not a full-time role. Played lacrosse at the University of Tokyo, coached there for a few years, and now coaches at Seikei University, and has moved up now to be the senior national team coach. Was an assistant coach during the last tournament. Was the U21 head coach last August in Limerick, Ireland, where Japan finished 5th, and they picked up an upset win in overtime over England on the final day of the tournament then, to cap off what was another wonderful summer for lacrosse in Japan. And they lost a narrow game, a quarterfinal to Australia that I had broadcast on ESPN Plus, 8-6 against the Aussies. Then the next day, we're able to handle the host institution, and that was Ireland, with a great crowd on hand there to support Ireland, and Japan was able to win it narrowly 5-4. Ball on the ground with the second quarter underway, and Denmark has it. And looking to ignite some transition, but the pass ahead for Tice Kierton is out of his reach. The Kierton twins, both from Honolulu, Hawaii, on the roster for Denmark. Goto is able to get into the box for Japan. And they have a 7-2 lead. They've capitalized on a pair of man-ups. Hiroki Kanaya with 2 goals and 2 assists to lead the way. A zone look here for Denmark. But the shooting has been quality for Japan from the wings. Now to the sweet spot. There's a nice goal. Yuya Okumura, you'll notice how he kind of hitched and kind of adjusted himself and never panicked there. He was open long enough. It's 8-2 Japan. And watch how the feed comes inside. And with the closeout defender coming, he's able to shoot around and over the top of the defender. Well done there from the high crease attackman. Goto on the assist, and Okumura with consecutive goals for Japan. Then this pass is knocked down. An active stick by Oscar Hertz. The Hertz brother is also on this Denmark team. Denmark sticking with a tight 3-3 zone. No look feed coming through. That was just off by a hair for Okumura. And Japan will recover. Now the shot, a contested shot still hit. Okumura. This time the defender was just about in his shooting lane, and it didn't matter. 9-2. He's got the last 3. Not quite the Jordan Shrug, but that is a confident shooter right now.
Team Japan goal, scored by number 28, Yuya Okumura, assisted by number 22, Junichi Suzuki.
And he realizes the defenders are sloughing off way too much, and Okumura just shooting Denmark out of this zone. Now a feed inside, and Japan's pole missing there, Katsumi Sugino. Sugino already with a goal and an assist in this tournament as a pole. And Japan keeps possession with 5 minutes gone, second quarter. They've had another dominating possession advantage here in the first half. And part of the plan for Udo Suzuki, and it's ingrained in these players. Naya takes another shot, this time changing planes. A deep bouncer, and we're going to see where the ball took its bounce, only a few yards, maybe about 4 yards out of his shooting pocket, rather than bouncing inside the crease. Actually, I think it did reach the crease, but that is an excellent bounce shot while fading away from Cage. So Kanaya with 3, and he leads everybody with 5 points. Face-off win, Ishii. Now Japan looks for transition before they're shut off there. Back behind Okumura. Okumura the skip, Obana. And that shot never got through. A good challenge and a contest from Oscar Hertz of Denmark. And the ball on the ground, and quickly fished out by Obana. And Japan able to bring on their second midfield, and so demoralizing when you're playing so much defense as is. As here is Omahara. 22 Suzuki returns, along with 13 Moromatsu. And stepping into the shot, Suzuki. Off cage, Hakozaki able to recover. And Sota Hakozaki, he is the lone player that was brought up after his performance in August at the U21s in Ireland, shot on the move by Moromatsu. Sota Hakozaki, you could consider him the 4th or 5th attackman, and with the score being 10-2, he's getting a chance. Here's a sweep left, room and time to bury the 10-yarder. Great shiftiness and acceleration from Junichi Suzuki. 11-2. Denmark getting a little overextended defensively, trying to put pressure on Japan. And right now, everything Japan has done, they have looked comfortable doing. 11-2 in the second. Just a great mix of efficiency and then explosion for Japan. All encapsulated in this last goal by Junichi Suzuki. Not much of a brush screen there, but you've got a hold on the pick man. And if you're caught flat-footed, Japan is showing they have the physical tools now to break down one-on-one defenders. Another face-off win, that time Shimada, who's getting the bulk of the work in the second quarter after KG Victor Ishii dominated in the first. Japan started off the game 6-0 in face-offs. The Danes got one via a face-off violation. think someone stepped in the crease for Japan. So a rare unforced error by Japan gives the ball back. Also the chemistry that Japan has put together, benching Tateishi, Obana on the crease, Suzuki. 8 players competed for Japan at the World Games. Tateishi was the leading scorer the other way, and Denmark gets one in transition. They feed the crease. It's Nick Skeffington for the second time, 11-3. As Peterson legged it forward, no, check that, make that, that was number 5 in Lucas Roscoe with his second. And Roscoe is a California native that has bounced around before eventually finishing up his academic studies over at Grinnell in Iowa. Mom is Danish and dad is an American. This is his second World Championship. And so happy to have Lucas Roscoe back. In the last World Championships in Israel, he had broken his hip in the 3rd game against Slovakia. And Denmark sputtered offensively without Roscoe. And has worked very hard to get himself back into his pre-injury shape. So this is the most goals Japan has given up so far in a game in pool play. Had allowed just 3 in 3 games coming in. Tateishi, and took it into a crowd, but a late flag coming out. And Japan is going to go man up for a hold against Denmark. So they'll get Jack Hertz. Jack Hertz was going to play college lacrosse at Division III Bates in the NESCAC. Decided to go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he plans to play club. Kanaya, oh, from distance! Rising shot taken by Hiroki Kanaya, who has stolen the show here in San Diego, 12-3. And Kanaya with defenders maybe hesitating to close out, daring him to shoot. And he sends a missile into the back of the goal. 4th for Kanaya. At the World Games last summer in Birmingham, Kanaya was second on the team in scoring 13 goals, 8 assists. And watching Six's action, seemed most of the goals are scored in tight. That's not as much of a long-distance shooting event compared to the standard lacrosse here. Either way, Kanaya's game translates no matter what type of format. Goto turned down the right-hand shot. Umahara face dodge. We'll hit 2 minutes to go. Another impressive half for Japan. Yesterday against Wales, they jumped out 12-0. Defeated Wales 14-1 was the final. And another flag out against Denmark. And here's a 1-minute slash, so Japan could take their time here.
Penalty, Team Denmark, number 1 minute.
It can't be that we're the only team that gets penalties. Really, it can't be.
And this is frustrating for Denmark. Against France on Friday, they committed 9 fouls. Really changed the game. Great cross-cage pass. Umahara, the beneficiary, after Obana found him. So the lead balloons to 10 for Japan. Just more textbook execution for Japan.
Assisted by number 2, Obana.
Japan still men up here for a few more seconds. That'll expire during the course of this face-off. Ishii. Another clean face-off win as he won it from Marcel Pinnerup. Final seconds, off the face dodge, another Tate Ishii with 17.4 remaining. Tate Ishii with his team leading 14th of this tournament for Japan. And just a blow by against the defender Simon Kofod. Asking Udo Suzuki about what makes Tate Ishii special. He is a pure shooter. All kinds of angles, creative. He can score goals with both hands and change levels, 3 to 4 different levels with each hand. Japan not satisfied. Shimada. Now the overhand shot. Robertson coming out to challenge the look from Okamura. And another tremendous half comes to an end for Japan here in San Diego. 14-3 Japan in their final game of pool play. We'll be coming back with first half highlights and go through some of the stats. Japan very much looking like a nation that is ready and to step into Pool A and to compete for a medal in San Diego. We're back in San Diego on ESPN+. There on the right-hand side is Naofumi Suzuki, the head coach of Team Japan, 14-3. His team leads Denmark. I'm sure he's not happy about a couple of the penalties that his team has taken, especially back in the first quarter. And otherwise, he's been looking for his team to play kind of typical coach speak, but it's composure plus aggression, things that will translate against the Pool A teams that he is trying to accomplish here in pool play. This is officially Pool B, but the Pool A teams, United States, Canada, Australia, Haudenosaunee, and England, things that will translate against those teams to get results that Japan did at the U21 level last August with a 7-6 overtime win against England to capture 5th place, and some of that against Australia too. They had the lead against Australia for stretches in the first half before losing 8-6, and that's what his mindset is. That Japan believes that they're about to ascend into kind of Pool A status for the next World Championship and beyond. And that is basically by invite only to get into Pool A in the various tournaments. Face-offs are 18-1 by Japan. And Oscar Hertz will try to face off here. Oscar just graduating from Brown University, where he played for Coach Daly. And the face-off win cleanly again by Japan. And that's Kota Yanai, their third face-off man that just won it cleanly. From a player that was on a Division I lacrosse team in the Ivy League. And Japan also turns to Soya Tokumasu here in the second half in goal. Soya's made 12 saves playing and splitting games through the first 3. Sodayama. Sanu, and that pass intercepted. And Denmark with transition as Jack Hertz had the interception. Then on the move, Alexander Farrington, and Farrington couldn't finish it. A wide open chance, and Farrington was able to race ahead one-on-one. First failed clear for Japan. Farrington, one of those teenagers, just 18 years old. He's come up through the Copenhagen junior program, just turned 18 recently, and played in the state of California as an exchange student last year. Skip pass comes, and Tata Ishii did not like his angle. Nice flip pass here for Kanaya. Kanaya down to the crease. Robertson came out to challenge. Looking for the sneak there was Hakozaki. And Robertson read the play, and he was in his face. Japan had backup. Hakozaki looks over the top, and it could not be finished. Recovered by Tata Ishii behind. As Japan continues to play with super pace, and Ren Robertson steps into that shot. Room and time for Koki Goto, and the best save for James Robertson, his third. And then he throws a rope over the top for Peterson. James Robertson is a school teacher by trade. He's been playing lacrosse since 1997. He grew up in Australia for the Surrey Park Lacrosse Club. His older brother started playing when he was 9. James was just 2 years old. Moved to Denmark now 11 years ago in 2012. So Denmark with their first settled possession. Third quarter. Roscoe attempted the breakdown. And we're seeing the strength of this Japan defense. Outstanding one-on-one defense combined with slide packages and slides on a string like few other countries. And maybe no other country is as in sync defensively as Japan is. As Denmark held on to it too long as it's turned over, and Tomoya Sodayama leads the push. Transition chance, Umahara. They look down to the crease, and that's broken up, and Denmark will come up with a transition stop. Then there's a knockdown, raking it to himself, Umahara. He's in one-on-one. Umahara off the fake and finishes. Fourth of the game. This time came off of a strip at midfield, Tomoki Umahara.
Japan goal, scored by number 7, Tomoki Umahara.
And a nice bit of skill there in addition to the knockdown, but to rake it to himself. Make that the second for Tomoki Umahara. And a rare face-off that has to be decided on the wing, but still no difference in result. Japan, another face-off win. Tateishi shoots on the move. That one rang pipe. It'll come back to Tateishi. Muramatsu, step down, Tateishi, save made by Robertson. James Robertson in goal, grew up admiring the great Tillman Johnson, who starred at the University of Virginia. Similar kind of goalie because he used kind of his legs and his feet a little bit more than maybe what some coaches would say is kind of the standard. Popping out, firing, and again another draw and dump. Toru Morimatsu. (16-3) Japan. They've got the first two of the third quarter with a timeout on the field. And Japan pouring it on, and they are nearing a new tournament high in goals. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. Japan, one of the best lacrosse nations in the world, showing it here 16-3 over Denmark. They scored 18 on Friday against Uganda. And off the face-off again, decided on the wing, Hiroki Hiratsuka has it. Now the overhand shot, and that's partially blocked. Kota Yanai, the D-midi.
Scored by number 13, Toru Morimatsu. Assisted by number 21, Koki Goto.
Denmark has been able to make the last couple of face-offs decided on the wing, but to no avail. They have yet to come up with a true face-off win. As Denmark sticks with the zone, this is the first time they're playing zone here in this tournament. And Kanaya with the shot. There comes the cut and the finish. Tateishi, after working the ball around once, they sent a little down screen inside of the crease. Tateishi cuts off of that, and it's beautiful lacrosse, 17-3.
Scored by number 3, Shinya Takeshi. Assisted by number 22, Junichi Suzuki.
And you'll see number 10 in red in Hakozaki sort of holding his man up, but also Denmark in their zone caught ball watching a bit. There's more marvelous passing where the ball zips around and then the well-timed cuts. And the quote that Naofumi Suzuki has used often about the strategy for Japan, here's a clean face-off win by Yanai. It's summed up, he says, as always running fast with or without the ball and always moving the ball as their national style to try to separate themselves. And then I think the next national style that has evolved for Japan is superior one-on-one defending. We just haven't seen much of it again in this tournament, and just like in pool play at the under-21s last summer. Because they face off so well. Inside the high crease, and Kanaya continues to feast. 18-3. So Denmark continues to play zone. And Japan continues to just pass and cut into open spaces. And Goto with another assist on the wing.
Correction, assisted by number 28, Yuya Okamura.
I'll make that Okamura on the assist. Face off again, Yanai. Some moderate progress for Denmark in terms of making it be a 3-on-3. And then a step down after the high sweep. Oh, some tired Denmark defenders now. Koki Goto. And realizing there was no slide to be found. And now it's a tournament high 19 goals for Japan. And we're still in the third quarter. As Goto just uses that little brush screen. And Denmark relaxing a bit, and again, just as we saw the Kanaya shot in the first half, daring them to shoot from the outside, except these are goals from 15, 16 yards. Here Denmark tries to hold it up, and we've got our first real hotly contested scrum. And offsides from a Denmark attackman coming across the restraining line. And that hurts for Denmark. It's demoralizing just when you finally got an opportunity to maybe use your physicality against Japan. Goto, this time turned down the shot. Then they'll take the shot from Muramatsu. Save made by Robertson. Couldn't control the rebound. And finally sweeping it to his stick. Nice done. Nicely worked. Done there by Oscar Hertz. Denmark will look for transition from Nikolai Blight. And Denmark about to have their first possession in over 10 minutes. Nikolai Blight grew up in Portland. Dad is Danish. before he moved to Denmark for a free college education. If you have a Danish passport or a Danish citizen, college is free. So Denmark has been able to take advantage of having numerous Danish Americans that they reach out to, especially through Lacrosse, for that option and say, look, you can save a lot of money by attending college in Denmark and have an incredible world experience. As that shot by Lou Lillelund, and save is made by Japan's Tokumasu. Final seconds here, third quarter. This time Japan will pitch a shutout in the period. 5-0 in the period, and a tournament high 19 goals for Japan. And they are a machine steaming full throttle towards Tuesday's medal round as we head to the fourth in San Diego. Japan shooting another terrific percentage, 19 of 36, 23 out of 25 facing off. And they look to conclude pool play here on a real high. They'll take another violation, so that's the third face-off win that Denmark will get. But this has been a demolition by Japan, and I think to nobody's surprise, but as you see what Japan can do as you start to make adjustments, they don't need any time to adjust themselves. Lou Lillelund. Meanwhile, for Ronnie Mathiasen, is Ronnie telling me before the game, look, we want to get everybody on the field from our team before the game. Get everybody a look, some extended playing time. They play Uganda tomorrow. Looking to roll back. Shot there off target, gobbled up by Tokumasu on the shot from Evan Chabursky. Chabursky had 2 goals in the opener against Wales that Denmark lost 7-6. Now the better offensive players have just not had many shots or possessions. Chabursky, a co-captain, one of the highest scorers in Danish history. And he married a Danish girl. He's been living there since 2015, pursuing his master's and PhD in biochemistry. Chabursky's originally from Nashville, Tennessee. Skeffington moves it along for Lucas Roscoe. He shoots from 15 yards out, and Tokumasu elated that he did. And Tokumasu fires it ahead, and Japan with a rare chance to run here. Here comes Dai Sato. Now Kanaya from the wing. Bam! A 7-yard rip. That one hurt. And for the first time here in San Diego, Japan has hit 20. Even as you close out on Kanaya, he's not bothered by it. He has 4 to lead Japan today. And Japan now, I think we get the sense as Koto Yonai facing off. This is an example of Japanese sportsmanship. He goes with the intentional face-off violation. Peterson shooting as he took a shove. It's backed up. Shabursky. Now shooting from distance, Lillelund, and again, too easy there from Tomasu. And these are just some frustrated Denmark players with bailout shots. Japan transitions, room and time for the pole, save made as Hiratsuka trying to get involved. Denmark with just 2 youth clubs in the country, Copenhagen being the main one. Nice swim move, then behind the back pass that came from Okumura. Kanaya. And now a flag is out. This will be against Denmark. Picking out a corner. Okumura's shot did not get through, and now we'll see the flag out against Oscar Hertz heading off as he ran through a Japan player that was trying to set a pick. And they called unnecessary roughness on that, which is certainly a head scratcher. They just saw James Robertson. Oscar and Jack Hertz are both new to the defense that they've been working on. Denmark scrimmage, the University of San Diego club team before they got here. Shot from the high slot again. Japan has another. It's Okumura. And that has been his home in San Diego. 21-3. Four for Okumura. And because Kanaya is at top of the man-up umbrella, you have to give him attention for his shot. He's already proven that. And Denmark will take another intentional face-off violation. Well, this group has been greatly responsible for building the next generation in Danish lacrosse. The other lacrosse club, in addition to Copenhagen, is called Aarhus, but only Copenhagen has a junior team. Right now in Denmark, there's about a total of 20 under-18s juniors right now that are playing. But they didn't have a junior program until 2016. Now they have kids that are playing it at the U12 level. I'll tell you more about that story when we come back. 21-3 Japan. Just so beautiful here in San Diego, campus of San Diego State, where 4 fields are hosting these World Lacrosse Men's Championship games. 21-3 Japan. It is a running clock in every quarter. And Denmark a chance to work on their offense a little bit more before they get ready for Uganda tomorrow. Touched on the growth that Denmark is attempting to achieve. Right now, just 20 juniors playing. James Robertson's son, he's about 7 years old. He's about to start playing lacrosse, so he might end up being the youngest to ever pick up a stick in the country as Japan comes up with a takeaway. But social media has been big. Once it's seen somewhere, pictures of it, and inevitably someone has a son or a relative that asks about it, and then they send links to try to let them know how to go out and buy a stick. And it's spread out all over. Right now there are just the 2 clubs that exist. Japan comes up with a clear, and surrounding Denmark in Scandinavia, there's a bunch of little islands, especially over in the sea that separates Sweden and Denmark. And There's even a little island there where they have one junior, one kid that's about 14 years old that plays wall ball by himself. Make that actually he's an 18-year-old that has to play wall ball by himself because there's no one on the island he lives on that plays lacrosse. But he's got a stick, and they expect that he'll be on the Denmark senior national team for the next World Championships. So it is spread out, and they're trying to bring it all together. And that's what we're doing here at these World Championships hosted in San Diego. Muramatsu, throwback over the head of Obana. Goto swings it back. And now a flag is out. And this will be Denmark going in the box again. And it'll be a 30-second push against Oscar Hertz. And a timeout will be taken here by Japan.
Team Denmark number 96 push, 30 seconds. Timeout, Team Japan.
Oscar in the box, just graduating from Brown. He had played club lacrosse in Copenhagen but then he moved back to the United States. The Hertz family did in the 8th grade. Oscar Hertz was also part of the national ice hockey program growing up while he was in Copenhagen. But upon returning to the United States, by the Hertz family moving here to nearby La Jolla, California, he picked up lacrosse. So Denmark will be man down again. But the story about one teenager wall-balling by himself on an island just to get some lacrosse and to work on himself, that is what this tournament is about. There's so many fascinating stories where lacrosse is being learned and picked up in random places. And in Denmark, we saw him earlier, but 44-year-old Simon Kofod, they call him the genuine Viking. And he's been playing lacrosse so far longer than anybody else in the country. We'll see if Simon Kofod will appear. He's number 96 in white. And he was on the very first team in the 2004 European Championships that Denmark hosted. And Kofod's son just started playing about a year and a half ago. And Simon Kofod instrumental in not just getting the sport to Denmark, but he is huge behind the scenes in terms of communication, getting equipment to people. He's kind of the Denmark general manager and has been for the last 20 years. And player development manager, you can say. Off the cut inside, Tate Ishii off of another well-oiled man up for Japan. 22-3. Second for, make it the third for Tate Ishii today. And Japan trying to close out this second half with a shutout. They won 18 of the first 19 face-offs. But when they've had to play defense, it's been stellar.
Correction on the previous goal. Team Japan goal scored by number 3, Shinya Takeshi, assisted by number 28, Yuya Okamura.
Play broken up, and Japan's Hiroki Hiratsuka, and he has looked good, plays at Waseda University. Japan has a pretty elaborate college system, and that's where the majority of these players have picked up lacrosse. And it's very rare in Japan, studying and researching both on the women's and men's side, and you hear the same story, that it's picked up when you're typically about 18 years old. But Shinya Tateishi, he is the anomaly because he has picked up the sport when he was 15, so he's been playing it for 10 years. The under-21 squad in August, they had perhaps a couple that had picked up the sport then when they were 17, just before entering the university level, but the vast majority of the Japan lacrosse system is picking up the sport right about that time after you graduate high school, and that's where it's most organized at the university level. But there's certainly a lot of talk about creating a Japanese high school national championship. Japanese high school baseball is incredibly elaborate, where they have a national champion, and it's a big deal. It's sort of like the NCAA men's basketball tournament that we have in the United States. The high school baseball championship in Japan is a big deal. And there's some thoughts that perhaps there could be a lacrosse version of that in the future. Sota Hakozaki holds. As Goto uses a double screen. Moromatsu shoots with a left. Goal is in. Flag is out. That's a tough shot for a natural righty to shoot lefty and then bounce the ball inside the far post. As we see the replay, this play encapsulates perhaps the mountain of hours of practice, individually and as a team, that Japan has put together to be able to do things like that.
Scored by number 13, Toru Morimatsu.
23-3. Japan long ago got their 12-goal cushion to make sure of goal differential. There'll be a bunch of teams that will finish pool play 4-0. Goal differential is the first tiebreaker, then the next tiebreaker is most goals allowed. Right now, Japan has allowed just a total of 6. And there is a clean face-off win for Denmark. So Kota Yanai looked like he was legitimately facing off, and Thijs Kierten will come up with it. The Kiertens' mom is Danish, and their dad was in the U.S. Navy for a very long time, serving our country. And how apropos that we are in San Diego, and one of the largest Navy shipyards outside of Annapolis in the world. Kierten can face off. Mark Kierten, also his twin brother, is a D-Midi. Kiertens had grown up in the United States before moving recently to Denmark. Mark Kierten, 46 in white. In there, penalty time has expired, so we're all even. And inside the final seconds, it's going to be yet another score that people will see scrolling the internet and say, wow, I've got to come out and see Japan at some point as they get into the medal round and see this team challenged. Japan in the 6s gave the U.S. a pretty good battle in the semifinals. Lost 17-12. Japan's women finishing in 5th place at the 22 Worlds. last July in Baltimore. U21s finishing in 5th. And across the board, it is impressive, and it must be seen by the lacrosse world. Denmark had made it a 2-1 game on a rare Japan foul. Led 7-2 on a buzzer beater at the end of one. And then they never really looked back, and they blew this one open convincingly. Japan with a tournament high 23 goals today to defeat Denmark. Japan off and rolling into Tuesday's medal round. They get the day off tomorrow. They conclude Pool B play 4-0. Denmark back on the field tomorrow against Uganda, seeking their first win at 0-3. For our entire crew here from hot San Diego, for our producer and director Josh Hinkle, my name is Ralph Bednarczyk saying so long and goodbye. This is the place for continuing coverage of the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship on ESPN+.